However, Dave, we're going to move on to a team that needs to replace a quarterback. This is some Patron listener mail. Got the question basically, here, let me pull it up exactly so I can read it word for word. It says, should the Bears move on from Mitch if they don't have a clear upgrade at the quarterback position currently? So basically how I'm reading into this is, if you don't have a clear upgrade, either drafting or free agency, should Mitch be the quarterback next season? This is a guy, however, Dave, let's say he's the not the MVP, the NVP of that game, because, Nickelodeon fans know how to pick a winning quarterback, Dave. He's the one they all like. What do you think?
Yeah. He's closest in age to all of them, probably.
That's what Tim said.
Looks like he's a fucking... Never mind. We need to move on from Mitch Trubisky. 100% the Bears need to move on from Mitch. I don't care who you have to pull in. I don't care what the price is. You have to move on from Mitch Trubisky. Whether we do target Deshaun Watson in a deal, which seems unlikely now that Deshaun has been linked to forcing his way over to perhaps Miami. We'll see how that one unfolds. I'm sure we'll talk about that another day.
Yeah.
But there are other quarterbacks out there. I would love to have some talks with guys like Jimmy G. I'd love to talk to the Jets and see what the situation with Sam Darnold is going into the draft. Are they 100% locked into Sam Darnold by the time the draft happens? Or could their new coach be interested in moving and shaking things up and taking a young guy, maybe Zach Wilson, maybe a Fields, if he balls out again, Who knows? So, I think that you have to expend all resources. Ryan Pace damned us with his ignorance, with his confidence, with his bravado of being like, I saw one quarterback only. Watch Mitch out there for all 8 of his fucking college games. I knew that was our guy. Didn't look at anybody else. That's the point where you should have never said that out loud, because you just proved that you're a terrible fucking talent evaluator at the top end of the draft. Credit to him for late round picks. He is excellent on late round picks, but that's great. We need to hit on top round picks, unfortunately. When I look at this team, you have to have someone who fits, and I'm going to hate saying this, Matt Nagy, because I heard there are no talks of removing Matt Nagy from the head coaching position at this time. Oh, my God. Yeah. So I'm going to float that out there. So if you want to get fancy with your styles, just picture he has to be able to run Matt Nagy's offense.
Yeah. So, the thing that makes me think of, and I'm going to pull up a post that I saw on Facebook, and this post comes from, this post comes from the man who was the dean when I was in high school. So he's my dean when I was in high school. Huge Bears fan. This is what he says. 9 points, 6 with no time on the clock. 11 first downs, 5 after the 2-minute warning in the fourth quarter. 1 for 10 on third down conversions, and the 1 coming after the 2-minute warning in the fourth quarter. This is undoubtedly the most deceiving 12-point final score differential in the history of final score differentials. I don't know how you could have watched that game on Sunday and thought to yourself, everything's fine, run it back, everything's fine. This offense couldn't do anything the whole game, Dave. They couldn't do anything. I
watched.
And that's why I know we've talked about replacing Mitch before. Quarterback needs to change. I don't even think Nick Foles is the answer.
No, he's not.
To me, I'm doing one of two things. I'm either getting, and here's the question with the whole rookie quarterback thing.
Yeah.
I feel like the only option the Bears have of getting a quarterback in the draft is if they like Kyle Trask or Mac Jones, trading up to 32 and getting them there. That's option A. Option B with the rookie is actually taking your 20th overall pick, some of your later picks, and maybe next year's pick. I know people are like, why don't trade draft picks? Remember when we traded for Khalil Mack and didn't have one and then missed out on Josh Jacobs?
Honestly, we didn't need Josh Jacobs. He wouldn't have fixed our team.
Yeah, I'm just saying that's who was true. That's the only hit that the Raiders had with their picks that year.
I still take that trade 10 times out of 10.
Yeah, because Khalil Mack is Khalil Mack.
Best player.
But the other thing is you take your 20th, a future first, and some other picks. you try to move up to get a quarterback if you like Trey Lance or Justin Fields or I say Fields or Lance. Ideally, it's Lance because that's the one that's probably going to fall into that range. I feel like the top 3 are all going to go in the top 10, and I don't know what the Bears would have to give up to get into the top 10.
You think Wilson will be, what do you say, second off the board?
Wilson will be 2, no matter what. Someone's going to trade up for him, and I think Atlanta goes with Fields at 4. So those guys are going to be... And if Atlanta doesn't go with him at 4, I feel like then either the Lions, Panthers... Basically 7 through 10. Lions, Panthers, Broncos, Cowboys, think about it seriously. Or if there's a team like the Niners that want to move up from 12, or if the Patriots finally move up for a quarterback, which I don't see happening. I just like, to me,
I don't know, man. That's tough.
To me, the question is, if you're a Bears fan, what do you want for next year if you don't go with a rook this year? If you don't go with any of the rookie quarterbacks, do you want to run it back with a Nick Foles and just fuck it? Like, if we do bad, we do bad. We get a top pick. We run for one of the quarterbacks next year.
Winston.
I got one that might be even better than that. And yet again, only because of turnovers.
At least he throws the fucking ball down the field. That's I for once in my life, I'm gonna watch an offense. I know this is basically the same thing as Jay Cutler, but let me have my moment. I want a guy who can throw the ball down the field and not give a shit one way or the other. He's like, look, I'm gonna just keep doing it. It's my receiver's job to come down with that ball.
Fitzmagic might be cheaper.
We have Nick Foles. Fitzmagic is the same goddamn man.
I know.
Like, plus, Fitzmagic is maybe better.
Plus, with Winston, I think with Winston, you have to trade with oh no, he is up. So, I mean, yet again, does he want to stay in New Orleans? That's the big question. Because it seems like the Saints are pretty much locked in with having Taysom and Jameis as their quarterbacks next year.
I don't know if he wants to be the backup and fight for that starting role, because it does seem like Taysom has been given the role regardless.
He can fucking win it over Taysom. Taysom's a glorified running back.
Taysom won the games, Ricky. Taysom got all the starts.
I'm just not a huge fan of Taysom.
All of the starts.
I'm just not a huge fan of him. To me,
you don't have to be. Sean Payton loves the guy.
Yeah, good point. To me, the one that's most intriguing is, yet again, if you're trying to lose games... I'll take a swing
at Josh Rosen. If we're trying to lose games, fuck it. Jameis Winston, Josh Rosen. Good right point. There's my backfield.
Fuck it. Yeah, if you're trying to lose games, it doesn't matter who your quarterback is.
What about Heineke?
Dude,
that man can sling it.
Is he under contract with the fucking...
I don't know what he's...
Let's see.
I know he was an XFL guy.
Dude, but XFL, let's go.
That guy, I mean, he made us look bad. I'm watching that game, and I'm like, how the fuck is this guy off the street throwing fucking dimes, and our guy can't throw the ball more than 4 yards down the field? Like, what am I watching right now?
Dave, he's a free agent, baby.
About to be our QB1.
I think he's a free agent.
QB1 of the future for the Bears. Give that man a contract.
Yeah, he's a free agent. 2021 UFA. The other thought I had is, and this is if the Bears want to win games but don't want to go with a rookie. If Phillip Rivers wants to play, wants to play, but doesn't want to go back to the Colts, or the Colts want to go with like a Carson Wentz, should the Bears look at a Phillip Rivers if they want to still win games or try to win games?
No.
Why? Is it because
make it stop?
Is it because he can't throw the ball down the field, or you think is that the fear he can't extend the field and it's more shorter medium passes?
I hate no upside.
Yeah.
I understand he's 40 and all that stuff.
I'm a man. I'm 40. I got 9
kids. Career. He's an all-timer. He was one of the first guys to have dumb passing numbers before anybody else did. But I just do not want to watch him play with this Bears team next year, because I think that because we're losing Allen Robinson, because we're losing a couple of the talented pieces on this team who we're probably not going to pay to keep, we're effectively taking ourselves out of playoff contention by not re-signing guys. Our defense is good enough to win a championship, and that's where it's at. But we're stuck in a situation where we didn't have it on the offensive side. And I think by grasping at straws and trying to take a swing at someone like a Phillip Rivers, delusional fans and media and whatever Well, I'll be like, oh, you know what that means? He got the Colts to the playoffs, and they've got a great defense and an up-and-coming offense. We're the same thing as the Colts. We should be an 11-win team next year.
Mm-hmm.
I will just bounce my head off the table until I pass out, Ricky. I can't have that conversation. Can't do it, won't do it.
And that's the thing. Like, I don't know I don't know the right answer for this Bears team because
draft quarterback
every time. Well, here's the thing: if you draft a quarterback,
yep,
it's basically the whole thing of how. Let's say you guys get a Trask. Let's just say that's the thing. Low expectation, kind of not a Fields or a Wilson.
He just falls to us
if he falls to you.
Fifth guy, maybe.
How successful do you expect him to be win-loss wise? And would that be better than Trubisky this year? Because every year you're not competing in the playoffs, you are wasting another year of this defense, which is a Super Bowl caliber defense, I would say. Like, this is a defense that has the talent to give you a shot in playoff games. Like, for the longest time in that game, I was like, man, it's still 10-3. Like, my first thought was, all right, maybe the Bears cover. Then I'm like, thought two, if the Bears offense can get cooking, maybe they win this game. Like, and then obviously the fucking Saints pulled away. But it was one of those things where it's like, this defense is good. What is going to give you, I feel like the Bears have to be thinking, what is going to get us almost instant success on offense? Is that keeping Nagy? Is that keeping pace? Is that running back with Trubisky? Is it a veteran like Phillip Rivers or Jameis Winston? Or is it going with a rookie? And yet again, any of those could be the answer. It's just which dice do you want to try to roll in order to make sure you're not wasting another year of this defense?
Draft quarterback. Draft Trask, I will take. Draft Trey Lance, I will take. I think Trask can win right now. I think Trask can come into the NFL and win games. I don't like Trey Lance as much to do that. Obviously he's not played football for a fucking year, basically. So there's a lot to go there. He's someone who is coming out of a smaller school. So offensive system wise, reading defenses, he's probably got a lot more to grow. I like Trask. I think that he's big, strong, ready to hit the ground running. Someone who can contribute day one to a team and help them, maybe. And he can't be worse than Mitch Trubisky. He can't be worse than Mitch Trubisky. I can't keep doing this.
Dude, put some respect on the MVP, Dave, the Nickelodeon valuable player.
Won't do it.
JD says he's got Lance falling to the Bears in his 2.0. Could happen. The only linchpin in Lance falling that far, there's 3 teams. 12, the 49ers, but I see them going with a Stafford or a Matt Ryan. The Patriots at 15, and then Washington at 19.
I'm sorry, he is the opposite of everything that
Belichick.
They would pick.
Yeah.
Look at the success they didn't have this year with Cam Newton.
Yeah, the one I'm afraid of is the Washington football team, because I honestly feel like Washington trades up to get Lance, or they'll draft him at 19 because he's out of all the teams that I looked for with him, I'm like, he would be a good fit with Washington. However, are they just going to re-sign Heineke? But at the same time, they got Alex Smith. So like
he's got to figure out what he's doing.
Yeah, I mean he's under contract for 2 years.
But he's got to figure out what he's doing. Like he's the injuries again. It's just I feel bad for the guy.
JD, Dave's finally on the Trask train. The TT.
If you give me the options of a guy who hasn't played football in a year, or the guy who's coming off of a year that made Joe Burrows look like a scrub, I'm gonna take that guy.
Yeah.